So, students, we are starting a past paper question from money and banking. Okay, money and banking, and it is from the past paper November 2024. Let's see the question first. So, central banks can control the money supply, and increase in the money supply will cause inflation. Therefore, central banks can control inflation. This is the statement, and we need to explain and evaluate this statement. And this is for 20 markers. Okay, so how can we support this statement? We have to write our answer. So central banks can control the money supply, and increase the money supply will cause the inflation. Yes, no doubt that central bank is responsible for the monetary policy and the money supply, right? Money supply in a country, and through this they control inflation. This is the one point we know. But if but we cannot say that central bank has a full control full control over inflation through monetary policy and money supply, because there are other factors which influences the inflation. Okay, but we need to explain first how central bank uses the money supply to influence the inflation first. This will be our first argument. So how will we start our answer? So very first, argument number 1, how central bank uses money supply to influence the inflation. Number 1 method is interest rate. Okay, interest rate. When central bank reduces the interest rate, people start borrowing more because interest rates are lower. When borrowing increases, it gives signals to producer to take more loans. They spend more on factors of production. The demand for factors of production increases. As a result, aggregate demand increases, and which increases the prices, means inflation in the country, right? First point in our argument number 1. Then we have OMO, open market operation. OMO, open market operation. Okay, open market operation means when central bank offers the securities like bonds, okay, to the commercial banks, okay, to the commercial banks. So as when central bank is offering bonds, so commercial bank has a big opportunity, because they know central bank is a government bank. If we buy bonds from central bank, definitely whenever we need money, they will return our money. There is no risk. So all money will flow to the central bank. So money supply, as a result, money supply will decrease. And when money supply will decrease, so it will decrease the credit creation in the economy. Number 3 is reserve ratio. Reserve ratio is when central bank make a policy for the commercial bank to give a certain amount, means a certain amount of each deposit to the central bank. Means, for example, if I am depositing 100% amount For example, if I am depositing $100,000 in my bank, so central bank is asking the commercial bank to give the 60% of each deposit in the central bank. So now commercial bank will have only $40,000 with them and $60,000 with the commercial bank. So in this case, what will happen? That 60% goes to the central bank and 40% goes to the commercial bank. So in this case, what will happen? That again they will not have money to lend people. Okay, no money for lending. So this will also decrease the money supply. As a result, what will happen? It will influence the inflation. So we can say central bank central bank can control the money supply using these tools to control the inflation. First argument. Okay, second argument. Let's see the second argument. Before starting the second argument, I want to tell you one more thing, that why money supply is influencing the inflation using these tools. Because as you know, remember that the Fisher equation, remember the quantity theory of money, mv is equals to py. So this is the money supply, this is the velocity, this is the price level, and this is the output. So what does this equation says? That if velocity and output remain same and money supply increases, so it will increase the inflation. That's why central bank controls the money supply and influences the inflation. This is the end of the argument. So second argument is, argument number 2 is, central bank what I say, like central bank can also influence the inflation, but it depends on the state of the economy. State of economy means, for example, if there is economic growth and full employment in the country. Okay, there is the economic growth and full employment, and the economy is on maximum productive capacity. Okay, so what will happen? So in this situation, if money supply increases in the country, so it will increase the aggregate demand, and because of the full employment, what will happen then? Aggregate economic growth will be higher. So what is happening here? That GDP is increasing with faster rate than the productive capacity of the country. Both are increasing, means GDP is increasing and productive capacity is increasing, but GDP is increasing with the faster rate. So as a result, what will happen? That money supply will increase the GDP, which will increase the price level in the country. So it will increase the inflation. And but how central bank can reduce the inflation? Because inflation is increasing, so they can use contractionary policy to reduce the inflation. By increasing the interest rate. So consumer borrowing will decrease, as a result demand for demand for the factors of production will decrease, and it will decrease the aggregate demand and the price level. This is the end of the second argument. Now counter arguments. Okay, counter argument. Number one, counter argument means we will evaluate our two arguments. So we are saying that three tools can influence the inflation, like using the money supply, and then we saw the state of the economy also. We need to see the state of the economy. Now we will see like how inflation can be caused by non-monetary factors. How inflation can be caused by non-monetary factors like cost push inflation. Cost push inflation can also cause the inflation, like if the if cost of inputs are increasing, means the price of raw material, wages are increasing, so it actually pushes the supply. So when supply decreases and aggregate demand is constant, so what will happen? We know with the help of the graph that price level will increase and it will increase the inflation. So in such cases, what happens? Reducing money supply may not effectively control the inflation, because because there is the unemployment and the less economic growth. Now, second counter argument is second counter argument is uh, which we done in the slides. Remember, every policy has some limitations. So monetary policy has also limitations like time lag. Remember, time lag. So whenever a central bank implements a monetary policy, like they increase or decrease the interest rate, it takes time to show the effects, 6 months or more, or sometimes years to show the effect, which affects the economy.